Hi, my name is Asia Parker. I am a student at Chattahoochee Tech taking the class Curriculum and Assessment, ECE1112 with Dr. Susan McCoy. And the purpose of this presentation is to observe and document the developmental progress of young children across six key domains: gross motor, fine motor, cognitive, language, social emotional, and self-help. Through photo analysis and anecdotal notes, I will connect each observation to GELDS indicators, identify appropriate assessment tools, and highlight strategies teachers can use to support growth in each area. This project demonstrates how intentional observation helps educators better understand and guides children's learning and development. In this slide one, we're talking about gross motor development, and this picture shows a child using his gross motor skills while balancing on a playground ladder. He's preparing to jump or step down, which takes strength, coordination, and body awareness. And you can see how he uses his arms for balance and focuses on where he is going, which shows spatial planning and control of large muscle groups. Gross motor development is all about the use of big muscles like those legs, those arms, those cores for activities such as walking, running, climbing, and jumping. And these type of movements help children build physical strength, confidence, and coordination. And the GELDS indicators are: 1, we will develop gross motor skill control from a range of activities. So for instance, this kid jumping off this ladder. Another one is actively participating in games, outdoor play, and other forms of physical activity for sustained periods of time. And again, this is 24 to that 48 months. For this observation, I used the anecdotal records to track his movement and balance. And materials that support this type of development could include a balance beam, soft climbing blocks. And as a teacher, I would encourage gross motor growth by offering obstacle courses and giving positive feedback during play. So on to fine motor skills. This slide focuses on the fine motor development. And fine motor skills involve the small muscles of the hands and fingers, and they are essential for tasks like writing, feeding, and dressing. And in this picture, the child is stringing beads using both hands, one to hold the bead and one to guide the string. This shows bilateral coordination and a use of a pincher grasp. And the child uses hand-eye coordination to align the string with the bead hole and make small adjustments, showing focus and problem-solving skills. This activity uses the GEL indicators PDM62A, which coordinates the use of hands and fingers, and also PDM62B, which performs simple fine motor skills. And an activity that aligns with the GELS indicators, which address the coordinated hand use and eye-hand coordination. A helpful assessment tool for monitoring this area is the ASQ-3. In the classroom, offering materials like pegboards, lacing beads helps children really build these skills. And teachers can support development by modeling fine motor tasks and providing materials that match each child's ability. The next slide is on cognitive development. Now, this slide highlights cognitive development skills, including thinking, problem solving, and understanding how things relate. In this image, the child is sorting colored shapes and fitting them into matching spaces. She demonstrates spatial awareness, visual scanning, trial and error problem solving, and turning the pieces that align with each piece. This activity supports GELS indicators. Let's see, CDM-A4-2B, which matches objects with similar attributes or characteristics. CDM-A4-2C, which recognizes simple patterns in an environment. And again, these relate to problem solving and sorting objects by attributes. And an appropriate assessment tool would be working sampling systems for cognitive tasks. Teachers can support cognitive growth by offering puzzles, shape sorters, and by asking open-ended questions that guide children to explore and reason independently. The next slide, in this image, we are talking about language development. And we see a toddler holding a phone to his, or a toy to his ear like a phone. This is called pretend play, and it's a powerful sign of early language development. The child is using symbolic thinking to represent real life communication, even though there may not be any words spoken. Language development includes both understanding what others say, called receptive language, and learning to express needs and emotions, which is called expressive language. In moments like these, children are practicing both, even through play. They're developing skills like taking turns, listening, using facial expressions to communicate. And the GELDS indicators that we're looking for here is CLL2 .2a, which demonstrates understanding of words through actions and or conversations, and CLL4.2d demonstrates an expanding development of vocabulary. The child's body language expressions show that, they're engaged in imagining a conversation. The kind of pretend play lays the foundation for real world social interactions, storytelling, and vocabulary growth. And as educators, we support this development by narrating play, asking open-ended questions, and providing plenty of opportunities for children to listen and speak in meaningful ways. The next slide is about social and emotional development. In this image, a group of young children are playing together in a circle outside. They're smiling, holding hands, and fully engaged with one another. This is a wonderful example of social and emotional development in action. The GELDS for the social emotional in this slide are SED5.2b, which plays alongside other children for short periods of time, observes and imitates other children. The other is SED5.2e, shows awareness of peers' personal space and belongings. At this stage, children begin learning to form friendships, take turns, cooperate, and express their feelings in safe ways. These shared activities help them practice important life skills like empathy, teamwork, and self-regulation. Playing in a group setting like this builds a child's confidence, sense of belonging, and emotional resilience. When teachers support and guide these moments by modeling kindness, helping children solve conflicts, or simply just cheering on teamwork, they help nurture strong emotional foundations that will support the child for years to come. And our last slide is about self-help development. In this image, we see a toddler pulling blocks out of a bin all on their own. This moment shows self-help development, when children start doing everyday tasks without needing assistance. The GELDS for the self-help development in this slide are SED3.2a, displays understanding of engaging in routines, rules, and appropriate social behavior. PDM3.2a, acts and moves with intention and purpose. So, self-help skills include things like cleaning up toys, feeding themselves, or getting dressed. And these small actions build a child's confidence, sense of independence, and responsibility. When we give children the time and space to try things on their own, like letting them clean up after playtime, we're helping them develop these lifelong habits. And teachers support this by creating simple routines, offering visual cues, and modeling what to do, all while encouraging the child to keep going, even if it takes a few extra tries. So that is all I have for you today on these domains. I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you learned something from this, because I definitely did, and I am very happy that I got the opportunity to take this class and to really learn what children need to help them thrive. Thank you.